It's GS98's Game of the Year Awards for 2011. Top 10 best games of the year. And I'm about to announce my Game of the Year winner between Batman Arkham City and Uncharted 3 Drake's Deception. But before I do that, I have a couple of honorable mentions I would like to announce. These are games I actually played during this when I was debating on what I thought was the Game of the Year. And here's my top 3 picks for what I think are honorable mentions. The first honorable mention is NBA 2K12, by far the best sports game that I have played ever. The most accurate basketball game, and basketball is my favorite sport ever. It's the most entertaining for me. It's one I can actually kind of play. And I love this game. And I've been playing it. I'm still playing it. And this game actually would have made it onto my top 10 games if I had played it sooner. And I cannot wait for NBA 2K13. I hope 2K Sports and 2K Games keep up the good work. My favorite sports game of the year, NBA 2K12. The next game that's an honorable mention is Assassin's Creed Revelations. Like I said, I'm just filming this on my computer. I'm just showing you like images and like gameplay that I recorded. Assassin's Creed Revelations it purposely did not make my top 10. I did play some of it before I did the top 10. And here's why. This whole Assassin's Creed thing, in my opinion, is getting stale already. Revelations is still on par with Brotherhood, Assassin's Creed 2, and the first one. But the games are the same. And people say, well, Call of Duty's the same, and you put it onto the top 10. Well, with Call of Duty, you know what to expect. You know what to expect with Assassin's Creed. But look at this, though. You're having a 25 to 35 hour game of repetitive gameplay. And with Call of Duty, you're having a 5.5 hour to 6.5 hour campaign that's exceptional with great storyline, great fun gameplay, almost like a Michael Bay movie. It's going to be a fun game to play through, and it has exceptional multiplayer. Assassin's Creed definitely has exceptional multiplayer that they threw in Brotherhood. But at this point, it's getting stale for me. And the last honorable mention that I am putting in here, I actually also would have put in my top 10, but as I said at the start of the top 10, I do not have a Wii. I actually did get a Wii for Christmas, and I have to put this game here. The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. Brilliant game, brilliant story, brilliant soundtrack, just a great overall game. And I actually haven't beaten it yet, but from what I've played, it definitely is an honorable mention. Great game, loved it. 2K12 probably the biggest honorable mention here, for me anyways. And 2K12 actually wins my best sports game of 2012. So, let's get back to the countdown. We have Uncharted 3 Drake's Deception versus Batman Arkham City. Let's talk a little bit about Uncharted 3 Drake's Deception. You've got an epic Indiana Jones storyline with just platforming greatness. This is the best platforming game I have played personally because the controls actually work, unlike Assassin's Creed. But this is just a great game, and you know what to expect with an Uncharted game. You know you're getting an epic storyline, epic characters that you fall in love with and come to just, adore during the whole game. Epic soundtrack, an epic adventure, just an epic game. It's pretty much what I'm trying to state. You know you're getting your money's worth when you buy an Uncharted game, and this game is on par with the series, if not almost better than Uncharted 2. I won't say it is better than Uncharted 2 because the train sequence was really, really hard to beat. I'm sorry, it was. The cargo plane I didn't think was as good, but the horse scene in the desert was outstanding when you're jumping onto the cars, and I think was just as good, if not the train was a little bit better. So, outstanding job by Naughty Dog. What can I say? This is an outstanding game. The only, amount of criticism I could give the game and wish was improved, a couple of things, mainly just one big thing. At this point, we're 3 games in to the series, and I'm just kind of like, what are you doing, Naughty Dog, with the gameplay? Not that I'm saying it should be improved. It shouldn't be. I think the gameplay is fine, but I'm just saying with the enemies, it's ridiculous. And you saw some points I was really getting pissed off. And I got pissed off during Uncharted 1 and 2 with these parts. Where they're just going to go, okay, you have one piece of cover that doesn't even go 360 degrees. It's just going one area of cover that covers you for this, this point where the enemies are coming. And we're going to throw 25 enemies at you, 360 degrees, throwing grenades like they're shooting arrows in 300, the movie. It gets annoying. And that is one thing I can say that I hope they do end up fixing with the later Uncharted games. That's the only thing I can say with Uncharted 3 Drake's Deception. Batman Arkham City, what can I say? It's a great game. You've got the greatest superhero game ever made, okay? You've got the greatest comic book character ever, Batman, at least in my opinion. I know a lot of people feel the same way too. Some people say Superman. He's not. He sucks compared to Batman. But pretty much, it's just a brilliant game with a brilliant storyline for a comic book game. And when you get a comic book character that's really dark in the comic books and they make him some, childish, stupid, kid-friendly comic book hero, you don't really get that in the game. And they stuck to the origin of Batman and they made him the Dark Knight, which is what he is. And Rocksteady just did an unbelievable job at this. So, the only amount of criticism I could say for the game, and I wish they would fix in the next launch, sometimes in the cutscenes the lip syncing is a bit off, and I actually forgot to mention this in my session 98 of the game. The lip syncing is a bit off where they're just kind of going meh, 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 meh. It doesn't really seem like the words are in sync with what they're saying, and that could be a problem. The second bit of criticism I should say is they really put a lot of villains in here, which I thought was outstanding that they did that, but it also makes the game a little cluttered sometimes because you have Two-Face showing in even though he's really got no purpose in the game. He just shows up for one scene. If you did not buy the game new, he does show up another scene if you do have the Catwoman DLC. And then he pretty much shows up never again for Batman to face. That could be annoying. Not that that was bad or anything. It's just I was kind of asking for more. So, there you go. Batman Arkham City wins my award for Best Xbox 360 Game, Best Studio of the Year, Rocksteady, for what they did with this game, and it wins my award for Best Action Adventure Game. Uncharted 3 Drake's Deception wins my award for Best PlayStation 3 Game, Best Graphics, and Best Performance by a Male in a Leading Role, Nolan North, for Nathan Drake. So, what is my game of the year? Both great games. Both games that I enjoyed so much, but I can only pick one game. What is my game of the year for 2011? And I will say this again. This is the closest pick ever for me in any game ever. Both of these games are just unbelievable, and you're getting your money's worth. You can't go wrong with either of these games. But for me, there was one game that beat them all, well, beat the other one here, and that's why my game of the year for 2011 is Batman Arkham City. A game that just did the character justice that it deserves and did everything right. Batman Arkham City is my pick for game of the year. Very, very close call between this and Uncharted 3. Both epic, amazing games, but for me, Batman Arkham City, the clear winner, in my opinion, and Rocksteady did a great job. So, Batman Arkham City wins my Best Xbox 360 Game of the Year, Best Action Adventure, Best Studio of the Year, Rocksteady, and Best Game of 2011. So, that's it. Thanks for watching. I hope 2012 is just as great of a year, and it looks like it will be with some amazing titles so far, such as Mass Effect 3, which I cannot wait for, BioShock Infinite, and Halo 4, Max Payne 3, The Last of Us. It's going to be one hell of a year for gaming, just as 2011 was. So thank you guys for, staying tuned, staying, with me during the entire 2011 year. Congratulations to all the top 10 nominees that were on my top 10 best games of the year. And congratulations to Batman Arkham City for winning my official award for Game of the Year. So, take it easy.